What if you could browse the web with absolutely zero fear of getting hacked? Like no matter what you clicked on. Sounds kind of impossible, right? Well, today we're looking at a security approach that doesn't just build higher walls, it basically creates a completely separate, safe reality for you to browse in.
We all use the internet so much that it just feels like second nature. But here's the thing. Beneath that familiar surface, it's an active minefield of invisible threats. And the sheer scale of the danger we're all exposed to is, honestly, just staggering.
So, let's kick things off with a few hard numbers that really frame the risk we're facing every single time we open up a browser.
A massive 90% of all cyber attacks start on the web or through email. That makes your browser the main front line in the cybersecurity war, whether you know it or not.
And this battlefield, it is constantly changing under our feet. Every single year, security researchers find over 1,400 new vulnerabilities, new weak spots, in our web browsers and all their common plugins, the very tools we trust to get around online.
And the pace of new threats, it's just relentless. Get this, every 4 seconds, a new, previously unknown piece of malware is downloaded somewhere in the world. That's a constant, automated assault happening 24/7. So you can imagine this nonstop flood of new, unknown threats creates a huge problem for the folks whose job it is to keep us and our organizations safe.
For decades, the old-school strategy was pretty straightforward. You make a list of known good websites you're allowed to visit and a list of known bad websites that you block. And hey, it works great for the tiny, tiny fraction of the web we already know about.
The real problem isn't the black and the white. It's the gray. It's the millions of new websites that pop up every single day that nobody's had a chance to check out yet. And that gray area, well, that's the attacker's playground.
And here is exactly how they get away with it. Most of the web is temporary. We're talking 71% of all host names are created and then disappear in less than 24 hours. Attackers spin up a site, use it for a quick attack, and poof, it's gone. It has no reputation history, which makes it the perfect digital getaway car.
This whole situation forces security teams into this impossible corner, right? Do they block access to all these risky, uncategorized sites and just stop people from doing their jobs? Or do they allow access and just cross their fingers, hoping they don't get hit by a catastrophic infection? Yeah, it's become crystal clear that trying to play whack-a-mole with the entire internet is just a losing battle. And that realization has given rise to a completely new philosophy called web isolation. And look, this isn't some fringe idea cooked up in a garage. We're talking about the big industry analysts at Gartner. They've flagged this very approach as one of the single most significant technologies an organization can adopt to protect itself from web-based attacks.
So here's the brilliant core idea. You stop trying to detect every single threat. Instead, you just assume any website could be malicious, and you build a system that makes that threat totally irrelevant by never letting any of its code get near your computer. Okay, so how does this digital quarantine actually work in practice? How do you build this foolproof barrier between you and all the dangerous stuff on the web?
This picture really nails the concept. The best way to think about it is like a bomb disposal robot for the internet, right? You don't walk up to the suspicious package yourself. You send the robot to handle it, while you watch safely from a distance on a video feed.
So here's what happens. You click a link, but instead of that website opening on your machine, it opens in a secure, disposable container way out in the cloud. All the risky code, the JavaScript, the Flash, everything, it all runs there, safely away from you. What you see on your screen is essentially a secure, interactive video stream of the web page. You can click, type, and browse totally normally, but zero active code from that website ever touches your computer. And then, when you close the tab, the entire remote container and any potential threat inside it is simply vaporized. Gone.
It really is the difference between watching a video of a lion and actually being in the cage with it. You get the full experience. All the information and interactivity you need, but with absolutely zero chance of getting bitten. It's the ultimate look but don't touch security.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but what's the payoff? What does this new power actually mean for day-to-day security and for just getting our work done?
Well, the payoff is huge. That impossible choice we talked about earlier, it just disappears. Security teams no longer have to aggressively block websites, so productivity goes way up. Ransomware and phishing attacks that rely on you clicking a malicious link are neutralized at the source. And the entire concept of a patient zero, the first person to get infected and spread it, is eliminated.
This dramatically reduces the workload and stress on already overburdened security teams.
Ultimately, what this technology does is defang the Internet's most common attack vector, the web browser. It takes that entire, massive, murky category of the unknown web and simply renders it harmless.
And that leaves us with a fascinating question. This represents a fundamental shift away from simply detecting attacks after they've started towards proactive, absolute prevention. If we can completely neutralize the biggest source of digital threats, what new possibilities does that open up for how we can all work and live safely online?